We're back to complete the Gourmet Guild trio with this 1/7 scale figure of Karyu by Furyu. Karyu is my favorite girl in the Precone anime. She's adorable, and her facial expressions are the best. Previously, we reviewed the Pecorini figure from the same line, which we really loved, and Kokoro, who was cute but had a lot of problems with the base and quality control. So is Karyu a major hit, or another bad anime decision? Let's unbox her and find out.
Holy shit.
That's one big cat.
Even though Karyu's base is plain like Pecorini's instead of Kokoro's fancy swirls, we had a ton of trouble getting everything to fit properly. Either the pegs weren't drilled at the right spots in the base, or there's something deformed in the figure itself. The stand for holding up her staff wouldn't line up properly with the hole in the base. We got it to fit in the end, but it's at an awkward angle and touches her hair, so we don't feel good about it being a long-term solution. I kinda want to drill a new hole for the stand, but it would risk messing up the base. Maybe I'll give the base a custom paint job if we go for it. Again, we looked around to see if others had the same problems, and they did. Some had it even worse than their staff was broken when it arrived, at least ours is intact. Between her and Kokoro, I have many doubts about Furyu's quality control. I think the reason that our Pecorini figure was fine was because she didn't have any parts that connected to the sparkly effect parts surrounding her, whereas Karyu's staff had to pre-connect to the purple streaks. But apart from that, how is this figure? Starting from the top, her perky cat ears are super adorable. The puffs of white fur are cute, and the colors all around look nice. Though with the top of her ears, some of the brown is showing through the white, either from the paint not covering enough or from some kind of scratch. Her hair has cute highlights above her forehead, and the single streak of white is really prominent. From behind, her hair molding has a lot of volume and detailed molding to them, and you really feel the flow as it twists and turns to the end of her twin tails. Our unit had a mark of some kind next to one of her hair bands, but it's not visible from most angles. Her face is super adorable, and the eyes and eyelashes are really detailed. Her mouth has a lot of depth to the sculpt, and the slight fang peeking in the corner is cute. The mix of her smug expression with the blushes on her cheeks is really endearing. The top of her torso is really good too. Her necklace molding shows it flowing up in the wind, giving the figure an extra sense of dynamic movement, and the transparent gem in the middle stands out. The molding for the details in the fabric folds is beautiful, and many of the small details are painted in like the gold linings. There are a few paint errors though. The colors used are good, and her belly button peeking out in the middle is so adorable. The bare shoulders and armpits look really smooth and alluring. The sleeves on her arms have a lot of detail too, with the same gold trim painting as her vest, and the transparent gem like her necklace. There are a lot of details that I've never noticed in her design before. The molding for the frilly fabric layers are very detailed too, even down to the slight lining at the edge. It really looks beautiful from every angle. The one on her left has a slight peg to attach the effect parts flying out from her snap fingers. It was kinda hard for me to get it into place, but after it's in, the flying stars look really good. The molding for her dainty fingers is so cute too, with the mid-snap pose adding to the dynamic feel. Her fingernails have adorable light pink polish on them too. The contrast between the sleeves billowing out wildly around her and then narrowing down to the upper arms looks really good. And the patterns on the golden crowns on her arms have their patterns molded directly into the sculpt, so you get decorations that are raised up and ones that are indentions in the crown. Her right arm holds her staff, and it is majestic and detailed. However, it suffers from the aforementioned QC problems with how it's placed in relation to the base. The large purple swirl effect around her is meant to attach to the back of her staff, but either because of the positioning being offset, or the molding itself, the effect joint refuses to stay in and usually hangs out loosely. Bye wayo. There are a few blemishes too, what looks like knob marks you get on model kits. Apart from those issues, I really like the staff. The book on the head of the staff has its pages billowing open, and the curves make them look very dynamic and natural like paper. Every page that is visible has magic runes and patterns on them too, even in the hidden areas that you can't see unless you really crane your neck at weird angles. That's the kind of attention to detail that I really love and gets my artistic spirit fired up. Above the pages is her magic spell forming up, with a pearl-like translucent sphere floating in the middle, supported by a clear rod. It's surrounded by purple magic rings, some with magical runes on them. It looks super cool, though when you get close up you can see the rather ugly joints holding the rings together, along with what's either residual glue or melted plastic. There are some random blemishes too, and what seems like dried droplets of some kind. The purple effect parts that extend all the way around the figure also have the same issues with the joints between the pieces, as well as random nicks and chips along the edges. Going behind the book, the covers are adorned with intricate golden patterns that are both painted and sculpted beautifully. There are a few splotches of paint mistakes though. Both covers also have a large red gem inlaid in the middle, similar to the ones on her outfit. The book rests on a beautifully carved stand with a cute cat curling up and ready to pounce. The gold paint finish has some areas where it clumped up and became a little rough though. The two pink crystals are transparent and look nice, though you can see the stressed plastic from where it was cut off from its mold. The main shaft is a plain solid navy blue, giving a nice break in the busyness of the design and contrasting with a heavily decorated top. It ends with a sharp golden point, which includes a cool looking area where the gold straps are raised up like grills around the shaft. Back to Karu herself, her fluffy skirt is super cute as it billows out in the wind, looking very dynamic. It has many layers of frills, and they're molded so you can see lots of intricate fabric folds. There's a gold painted pattern on the black frills that isn't raised up but still looks good. The plain light purple on her skirt rolls like waves, and when looking at the figure overall, it provides a nice break for your eyes with a lighter color tone compared to the rest of the figure. There's a chain of jewels around her waist too, rising up above the fabric and with each crystal pointing in different directions as if thrown around by momentum. The transparent crystals catch and reflect the light beautifully. I never noticed it before, but the white patterns on the side of the skirt, almost covered up by her flowing vest, are modeled like cat paw prints. It's so cute. The overall flowing parts of her vest form a wide, smooth curve and have detail lines sculpted in them as well as painted gold trims. The little hole where her tail sticks out looks a bit like a cat's head. At the tips are the similar pink clear crystals that we saw on her staff and waist. The inside of those drapes have a different design from the outside, with the gold borders being thicker and a more intricate 3-part icon inside. Her tail is cute and adorable, with a wide curve as it comes out before suddenly making a sharp turn. There's also molding that imitates tufts of hair sticking out along the bends. The tip is painted white like the tip of her ears, though again the brown shows through a bit. Beneath the skirt, Karu is wearing black panties, though with how wide the base is, you won't get to see them very often. The light coloring gives me the impression of a soft sheer fabric, like satin or something. Must be comfortable. Her thighs are slightly plump and really cute. Her stockings look like the same materials as her panties, and the edges of them have a series of hexagonal patterns with light purple colors on the inside. Her left leg has an additional garter on her thigh, with the same pattern as the top of the stockings, and one strap on the front of her leg attached to her stockings with a gold clasp. The slight lightness on the back of her foreleg where the fabric is stretched gives the illusion of her skin peeking through. It's a very nice detail. Her boots look cool too, with wide colors around the top and lots of details sculpted in with gold accents. The main body of the boots are painted with 2 shades of brown, and the gold tips are pointed sharply. Her heels are also shaped like rounded diamonds, which is another neat detail I never noticed before. The base being plain and white like pecorines is disappointing though. I wish it had more colors and effect parts, though with how Kokoro's base turned out, we should be careful what we wish for. I don't really trust them to do another grand base like Kokoro's, but having more colors on the base or something like a magic circle pattern would be nice. Even a plain clear base like in the promo pics would be better since it would let light through. I'm seriously considering doing my own custom paint job on Pecorines and Karu's bases. So now that we looked over Karu from head to toe, what do I think? At 20,000 JPY, she commands a premium price, and I'm disappointed in the quality control, especially after all the problems we had with Kokoro. I'm okay with the minor ones, but the issues getting the staff connected to the base really aggravates me. Having said that, I still really love this figure with its amazing presence on the shelf and its wealth of intricate designs. Karu looks so good and this figure is such a beauty. It's debatable whether it's worth the price considering the issues, but all I can say is that I'm happy to have her and would definitely regret it if I missed out on her. When you put all 3 of them together, they make for a grand display. Since Pecorine and Karu each take up almost a full shelf on a Detolf, you could only do this with a wide display case though. We put our trio in the Mills Bowl from IKEA. Also, it's not noticeable when they're apart, but when we line our units together, the base for Karu looks a bit darker than Pecorine's. Given that Pecorine is kind of the main leader of the Gourmet Guild, I want to put her in the middle, but because of their bases, it's most practical to have Kokoro front and center. Though you can think of it as their elf mom leading her problem children. Overall, as a group, they look really beautiful together, and it's one of my favorite sets of figures that we have. Furu really needs to get their act together though. I hope they learned their lesson. But you know who didn't learn their lesson? Us, because we went and pre-ordered the 6-star Precone figures from Furu again, which are even more expensive.
Oh my god, we're the enablers.
We've even ordered the expensive Eastream ones too, because we're committed, goddammit.
Yabai desu ne.
Yabai wayo. What about you? What do you think of this Karu figure? Is she yabai in a good way or a bad way? Did you get one for yourself? Please like and subscribe for more, much more, Princess Connect figures and merchandise. There are way too many things coming because we're bad anime decisions, not good financial commitments. And maybe watch me stream drawing Precone characters on my sub channel sometime. I'll see you again, and as always, anime was a mistake. Glory to Ukraine and the ghost of Kiev.